Among the civil rights in the Constitution, the first and the greatest one is the right to live. That's why if we simply regard Dai Xi's action as a crime, then we're forgetting the real purpose of the law. I hope that everyone here gives this matter some consideration. Hasai, what's wrong?
It's nothing. There must be something I ate. You guys go ahead, I'll be there soon.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's go.
Oh, hi, Luo Qi.
Dai Xi.
Luo Bing isn't here today.
It's all right. I'm not here for him. I'm here to see Lan Lan.
Lan Lan?
Yeah, Lan Hong's sister. She's suing me.
Huh? What do you mean she's suing you?
In the eyes of our country's law, Dai Xi has indeed committed a crime, even if he meant well. So what does this signify once we get it out in the open for public disclosure? It could mean that the national pharmaceutical regulations are being challenged, and that the current patents of the other pharmaceutical companies who do follow the law will not be protected as they should be. The law states that such patents are protected for 20 years, and within these 20 years, this company will have a monopoly over this product, and that any other company who develops the same formula will not be allowed to produce or to even sell such products. This is because production of more material of this kind may result in great fluctuations in the public market.
Thanks for waiting. I had a call. Why are you meddling in this case? Do you not have anything better to do? I'm just a lawyer. I'm not the one who wants to sue. If you'll be able to recall all the funds given to you, I'll have my client withdraw the lawsuit. I advise you to advise your client to withdraw immediately, because otherwise, if you don't, this matter will only harm her relationship with her husband, and possibly even lead to a divorce case, and no one wants that, right? I wouldn't mind handling a divorce lawsuit. Neither would I mind another divorce case. Actually, when my client first came to me, I already suggested doing that.
Lan Lan, I think what you're doing is wrong.
We work at the same firm. To avoid conflict of interest, you're not allowed to defend the plaintiff of my defendant.
No, I'm not defending her. I'm just saying as a friend of Luo Qi, you shouldn't do something like this.
And as a friend, you should also advise Luo Qi on the basics of the law.
Well, there is no law that makes it illegal for a man to simply purchase a house for his ex-wife, you know.
Listen, the case is very clear. The money Jiyu gave to his ex-wife Luo Qi is in fact money that's part of a shared asset between Jiyu and my client Rong Rong. However, Jiyu decidedly gave some money to Luo Qi without asking Rong Rong for permission first. That goes against the law of commonly shared property between spouses.
The law also states that the birth parents of a child are legally obligated to be able to provide for the means of living and education to their child.
Yes, but the law doesn't state anywhere that a man must purchase a house for his ex-wife, does it?
However, what if Jiyu only saw this money as alimony for his child?
It was money for a house. It was not alimony.
Let me remind you that the money we're talking about now was for alimony. But Luo Qi merely utilized this money to buy a house for them so that her child could comfortably live there. It's completely legal.
A father is expected to provide alimony for his child. And if his wife has a problem with it, then go and tell him. Don't come to me. But the money Jiyu sent her was so that she could purchase a house. It was alimony.
Haji Ai is my predecessor, and I highly respect him. But when it comes to the matter at hand, I will have to disagree with him. I believe that what Dai Xi did, he did so out of urgency, to save the incurable lives of those who couldn't afford medication for something like cancer. He had no choice but to go against the NFDA's policies.
He had no choice but to go against policies? Was it not illegal? Of course it was illegal. Attorney Luo, let me ask you something. You just told us that in order to save the lives of several thousand incurable patients who aren't able to afford medication for their disease, Mr. Dufay had no way but to buy illegal drugs. Let's suppose that Dufay's actions weren't in any way illegal. Then we could understand it like this. First, any action done for the preservation of one's life shall not be considered illegal. Second, the NFDA's drug restrictions in our country were all written on scrap paper.
Here's the thing, attorney. Mr. Du's actions did harm the pharmaceutical industry, but he made an even greater contribution to society, and it's the right to live. He harmed one part of society to benefit a greater part.
No, I don't believe he benefited society. The thing is, we keep saying that Dufay bought the drugs for patients who couldn't afford to buy medication for themselves, and that he had to take the risk. But let's ask the question, why is anti-cancer medication so costly to afford? Drug development and testing is very expensive. For a new overseas company from conception to launch, according to my records, costs an average of a whopping amount of $700 million US. And if you include the other failed research studies, a single product will cost about $2.5 billion. And the product can only be sold for 10 years. And that's just the research cost. There's also going to be production costs and marketing costs. So it's imperative that they protect their margins.
I agree with what Attorney Luo Xiangjie said. Think about this. If we don't try to respect and protect our drug patents and let anyone produce any drug they want to make, then will the drug companies spend so much on researching how to produce them properly? If they didn't develop any new drugs, then when we look at it in the long run, wouldn't we just end up much worse off?
That depends on the things we could consider as the greater benefits here. A society-focused development is what politics and law have been seeking. I believe that the main purpose of the law is to protect society as well as its people.
Among the civil rights in the Constitution, the first and the greatest one is the right to live. That's why if we simply regard Dufay's action as a crime, then we're forgetting the real purpose of the law. I hope that everyone here gives this matter some consideration.